Hello and welcome back to the sidelines of the ICR Conference here in Orlando, Florida. I'm Jarrett Banks, editor at large of IPO Edge, CorpGov, and Exec Edge. Very exciting company, Build-A-Bear, under the ticker BBW. I'm joined by the CEO, Sharon John, as well as the CFO, Voin Todorovic. Sharon, let's start with you. Now, I understand that this is not just for children these days, that you've actually got quite a few adults and teenagers buying these bears. What can you tell us?
We do, and thank you for having us. Build-A-Bear is now multi-generational. In 2022, we celebrated our 25th anniversary. So a lot of people that came to Build-A-Bear when they were young are now having children of their own. But more importantly, there's a big trend right now called kidulting.
Kidulting?
Where a lot of adults like to buy products that they enjoyed when they were children. Some of it's nostalgia. Maybe it came about from a COVID impact. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yes, so now but we've worked toward it. About 40% of our sales are to teens and adults. And some of that's driven by licensed products that we have, popular things that are evergreen, like Harry Potter, Pokemon. Some of them are more edgy movie properties like Deadpool. Some of them are episodics like The Office or Friends. So we're pushing some of those types of intellectual properties where we do mashups so that affinity or enthusiast fans of those properties mashed up with our property create something really fun for consumers. We've also created a website within a website. It's still at ourbuildabear.com, but it's called the Bear Cave.
Okay.
Where you're age gated to get in, and there are things that a little bit cooler, maybe a little bit darker in there. And we've launched something that's called Build-A-Bear After Dark. It's adult to adult gifting. Last year we launched it. Well, we've actually had it for a few years, but last year it really broke through from a PR perspective. We ended up with 1 billion impressions in about a 24-hour period. So we're selling that again this year. And that's all of those things are coming together, from gifting to enthusiast products that are driving that business.
Very impressive. Now,
Yeah.
it's been a tough year for some consumer brands out there, but what's been the secret to your success?
Some of it is our longevity, I believe, and that again, it's this huge affinity. We've had with so many years and 225 million furry prints made in the last 25 years.
Right.
We have 93% aided brand awareness, and a lot of top boxing from a consideration perspective. So people love to come to Build-A-Bear. In fact, so many of our visits to our retail locations, which we call experience locations, are planned. In fact, the majority are planned. And we're also seeing a lot of incidental feedback from what we call our bear builders, who help you do the process at the store, that it's not just the kids that are coming to the stores. Now that adult and teen business is also coming to the stores. We're seeing traffic increase, conversion, a lot of engagement in the product by buying the whole, their outfit and shoes and everything. So we're seeing some nice DPT increases outside of this of one of our entry-level products called Your Canvas Bear, but that's a whole other story.
All right, great. Now you've got an impressive background in the toy industry. Tell us a little bit about that.
After getting my MBA, I wanted to do something that was a little not typical, I think atypical for a Columbia grad.
Right.
I wanted to go into a more consumer-facing branded type of company, and went to Mattel and was there for quite a few years, and ended up at Hasbro for a while as the head of the U.S. toy division. So worked on a lot of brands over the course of the years, and some of them have gone through this very transition of becoming multi-generational, whether that was Nerf or My Little Pony or Transformers.
Right.
Just a few years ago, where you saw that transition, and not just into that multi-generationality of collectors and enthusiasts, but also into the content creation and entertainment space, which is something that we're doing there as well.
Okay. And what are you focused on? What are your priorities for 2023?
Our priorities are to continue to drive this momentum that we've created. I mean, and I think when people look at what's happened over the past few years, it on the surface level, it may look like that there's just some COVID bump or something, but we have been working toward the evolution of this company for 9 years now.
Mhm.
I started 9 years ago, a little over 9 years ago, and Voin joined me a little over a year after that. And we worked together on another specialty retail turnaround, Stride Right Children's Group, which was a part of now the Wolverine Company,
Right.
and Wolverine Worldwide. And so we had that operational expertise on vertical retail, and I brought the toy experience and the entertainment side. And we saw a brand that was so much bigger than the business that it was representing.
Right.
So our job was to immediately return the company to profitability, but also rethink our entire experience locations side. There was a lot of challenges in the malls in the past few years.
Sure.
So we've now diversified that entire part of our business, where 35% of our store locations are now outside of traditional malls. They're in tourist and hospitality and
Got it.
non-traditional areas where families now go for fun and entertainment. So we've successfully done that. We've expanded our four-wall profit significantly. We've had consistent improvement in our margins. But we've also then built out that digital side,
Right.
escalated and elevated, and even, believe it or not, accelerated our digital transformation during COVID. So these pillars of a strategic activity of rebuilding the infrastructure from IT, organizational, and bringing in new talent and putting in new ways for the brand to be able to be monetized,
Right.
is really what's come to fruition in the post-COVID area, the post-COVID time period era. That's what I was just
Right.
So we look at this as a long and sort of plotted strategic evolution that we're now enjoying the benefits of that. No accidents here, in our opinion.
Okay, great. And Voin, same question. What are the priorities you have for cash?
So we are definitely pleased with the performance that we have been delivering over the last couple of years. Record profitability in 21. We just guided and raised midpoint of our guidance just a couple of days ago. We expect 8 consecutive years of 8 consecutive quarters of revenue growth and like increased profitability. So definitely we are pleased with our performance and health of our balance sheet. And when you think from the cash perspective, as we are generating cash over the last 12 months or so, we have been buying a lot of shares. We nearly repurchased 10% of our company. We also did a special dividend, and we continue to find the right balance to return money back to shareholders, as well as to continue to make investments in our business to support the digital transformation. And we still believe, as Sharon talked about, like that we are not oversaturated from the store count perspective, either domestically or internationally. So we believe we have some avenues for growth and to utilize the cash, but also find the right way to return some of that cash to our shareholders.
And staying with you, Voin, are you growing higher margin revenue streams, and what investments are needed?
Absolutely. Over the last several years, we've been very focused on driving profitability growth in our own stores, as well as expanding beyond traditional Build-A-Bear locations. One of our growth initiatives through third-party retail locations. These are locations that we have within our partner facilities like Brayford Lodge, Carnival Cruise Line, Landry's, and so forth. And these are done through the wholesale arrangements and capital light, asset light investments for us. And we like those relationships as we are more accessible to consumer in more places. And we are going to continue to look at those margin accretive businesses. We are also looking to expand our outbound licensing business. We have just done more recently some of the pet tours through the PetSmart location. And again, those are outbound licensing deals where we are collecting royalties for the use of our IP, and we are looking at more ways to really monetize the brand outside of the traditional Build-A-Bear store.
That makes sense. Sharon, what is misunderstood about the Build-A-Bear brand?
I believe that when at first blush, it's not difficult, I understand this, to assume that we are exactly what we used to be.
Right.
A mall-based specialty retailer. It's all about stuffed animals for kids. Now, some of that's true, but we've evolved significantly since then.
Right.
We participate in the digital economy. We have expanded our addressable market to include, kids, teens and adults.
Right.
We are now in the gifting business, so we've expanded our categories. We're expanding our footprint and have multiple ways to go to market from a footprint perspective. So there is an immense amount of change that is there, but there's also things that have stayed the same. We're still beloved, iconic brand.
Sure.
We wield a lot of power because of our awareness, about 10 billion impressions a year. From a PR perspective, we're constantly in the news or in pop culture because Build-A-Bear is so well known, and that's
Right.
a great benefit to us because it keeps us top of mind and keeps us really cool. And that's also part of why teens and adults like us. So that content creation side is a part too that I think that people haven't really understood what we're doing quite yet. It's important to create content in today's world. It's how you communicate directly with consumers.
Mhm.
So from short form to TikTok, social, and even a Honey Girls movie of our own intellectual property on Netflix.
Wow.
And the Mary Mission movie that will be coming out next fall, as well as a recently announced relationship with Reese Witherspoon's company, Hell of Sunshine, for feature films. So there is a lot going on at Build-A-Bear.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, for my own benefit, how high end can these bears go?
Well, we do have some bears that are, near $100, our Swarovski crystal bears. And we recently, as part of our content expansion, not only do we have a Roblox game, but we have NFTs that went for, thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And just lastly, I'll ask each one of you, what are you most excited about here for the year ahead here in 2023?
I mean, we are excited because we have a strong foundation at the top of 2 years, record years, record profitability to continue this growth. We have healthy balance sheet. We are ready to put some of that money to work and continue to execute on our strategy. We believe, this brand deserves and should be much bigger than it currently is.
Mhm. And I have to echo some of that. I mean, it's when you work together with such a great team, and many of us have been together for years now. We've been through, everything from a retail apocalypse to a global
Right.
pandemic,
Right.
arm in arm, focused together. And I'm just so proud of this organization for us to come out in the other end of this stronger and better than we've ever been, with a strategy that we envisioned years ago that now has so many proof points of success and potential to be at that juncture where we get to lean in to what we know has tremendous opportunity, is different from the battles that we've been fighting thus far. So we're looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been the CEO and CFO of Build-A-Bear. I'm Jarrett Banks signing off.